Welcome to the quiche. Welcome to the quiche. Come on in. Come on in. Network, fellowship, love on each other, become one with each other. I hope everybody had a fabulous week. It's Friday and I am. Hey, Damon, how you doing? This not denture related. It's a story time. There's a real life situation that is happening that's heavy on my heart, and good to see you doing okay, King. But I just wanted to kind of, come on YouTube, and I'm going to keep names anonymous, and I am going to see what you guys think. Um, so I'm gonna get started because I don't know how long, you know, um, it's going to take. But I have a good friend. We've been friends about 15 years, and a unfortunate circumstance happened last night to where she was feuding with her mom. And I want to say that this friend is 36 years old, and her mom is in her 50s, and they were feuding, and they've been living in this house forever. The house is paid for. I don't know all the details as far as the house, but the house is paid for, and they've been living in it, and they've been, things have been kind of rocky to where my friend, due to her past situations as far as criminal history. And I do want to put a disclaimer that I have all kinds of friends. I have educated friends. I have friends that have PhDs, and then I have friends that flip burgers. So, hey, Lady E, how you doing? So my friends are a variety. I don't discriminate. I love everybody. I try to be there for everybody. But anyhow, yesterday she called me, and her mom um turned off everything, and my friend, she doesn't work, guys, and she has two asthmatic children. They are ages 11 and 12. So she turned the electricity off, she turned everything off, she took her stuff, and this is her mom, and she left her in the house with the children in a home with no electricity, no water, no food, no anything. And it's just been weighing heavy on me. It just really have. I have offered every resource that I can possibly offer to her, which is limited, but I have. But I think the matter of it per se is, how do we get in these situations with families to where we start turning our backs on each other in such a devastating, I don't know, it's just devastating to me. I was on the phone with her all night, and it's not, as grown-ups we can kind of get through stuff. We're older, and I'm not sparing, my friend's feelings. She's 36 years old, and I have the same feelings as her mom. You need to get it together. You need to get it together for your children. You need to get it together for your life. But nevertheless, some people, the cards that they are dealt, and we all are not dealt with the same cards. We aren't. We aren't. We all aren't dealt the same support system. Just to give you guys a little bit of her background. When she was a child, she suffered from learning disabilities. She suffered from child molestation. She suffered from beating. She suffered from runaway. So she has a pretty traumatic childhood from the get go. Again, I do not think that that's an excuse, because a lot of us have traumatic childhoods, but I do not think that everybody fully recovers from it. I don't think everybody make a 100% turnaround where they can give this glorious story to where, they made it through. But unfortunately, this friend, she didn't make it through the childhood, and the childhood situations led to different things as far as drugs, and she still is currently on drugs. The mom was aware of this. She's been on drugs since the hands of time, just like a whole lot of people. And because of her criminal record, her mom was aware of that also. And you guys can give your feedback at any time, because, like, I need things to help me, because friends are friends regardless to me. And I have become completely drained. I don't know. But anyways, from her childhood, it led over to a life of crime, of not being able to hold a steady job, not being able to continue her education. She does not even have a high school education, living in poverty, and just things of that nature. So while I solely believe that she could have done things differently, but just depending on your background and where you're coming from, who you're raised by, who you're molded by, the community that you're in, your support system, mom, dad, aunts, uncles. This chick had none of this, none of it. Molested by her own family members. Like, what is the mom wanting from her? What is it? Like, she left these two grandbabies, asthmatic grandbabies. She left these two children in a dark house, in a violent neighborhood, with no lights, no water, no food. How do you do that? And I was telling my friend today, I was like, I don't want this to totally look like your mom's fault, because as a mother, me as a mother, as a father, we have a responsibility. When we have children, we have a responsibility, point blank, to make sure that our children are taken care of. It is. But kids didn't ask to be here. And children are born into broken families since the generations, from time and times ago. It's not anything new. So I'm like, what do I say? At one point she got upset, and the mom kind of left some things in the house because she didn't take everything, and she was like, "Oh, I'm mad at her, and I'm gonna start selling this and selling that." And I don't believe in evil for evil. So I was like, "No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do evil for evil. You know, do not touch anything that doesn't belong to you. Do not sell anything that belong to you, and take the hate out of your heart, and instead use that energy to think that what are you going to do next to try to get yourself out of this predicament, to make yourself better for your children, because you're going to have to get yourself out of this, because you sure don't want anything like child protective services in your life." And I advised her immediately to call the school first and foremost, see if let them know the story, let them know if there's anything that they can do to help her. Let the principal know what's going on, just in case the kids break down at school. I mean, because we're talking about your grandmother just left you. I mean, I know it's the grandmother, but still, I think like grandmothers, grandfathers, aunts, uncles, cousins, they all have the equivalency if it's family. And for them to leave you in such a predicament is traumatizing. So I was telling her, just call the school, let them know what's going on. Um, and I don't know, like, I'm so stuck as to what to do. And I think I've covered pretty much everything. She did have a job, but since the mom left, because I think her job, she had to be like at work at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And typically kids don't have to be at school till like like 7. She couldn't go to work because the mom moved out. So she needed to be there to get the kids away, get the kids away. And then I think she worked as late as 6. So she didn't want the kids to come in, into a dark house by themselves. She just kind of wanted to be there for them. So, um, yeah, I've been on the phone with her just kind of ever since it all has happened. And I have tried my best to speak positivity in her, give her different suggestions like shelters. We have those. But I think sometimes people be so, and I'm not taking up for my friend, right is right, wrong is wrong. And I think people be so comfortable in their dysfunction that they can't take the steps to get out of it. Because, like I mentioned, shelters, women organizations that help women in her type of situation. But because of the dependency that she's had on drugs and alcohol, she doesn't want to let go of that because that's her comfort zone. And I think, in a way, for me, that symbolizes a neglect toward the children because you have to, the kids, Lady E, are 11 and 12. The little girl is 11 and her son is 12. They're both in the house, like they're both asthmatic. And I saw something because, like, last night I called the local police department and I was telling them the story. And I was like, isn't it against the law to leave asthmatic children in any type of residential situation to where um, they don't have any like air circulation? None of my children have asthma, and I'm an educator, and if any of my asthmatic children, have any type of asthmatic episode, I send them to the nurse, and the nurse takes care of that. So I don't know, like, the protocol for that, but I thought that, like, that was against the law across the board, and like law enforcement or somebody will come out and try to help kids. So because I think, like, I know a couple of people whose family members have passed away of asthma attacks. And I don't know, with the lack of poor air circulation, because this house is old. We're talking about, it's in an older community and the house is run down. So I don't know. I think my biggest concern is the kids, because I told my friend, you have to get it together. No matter what happened with your mom, no matter what's happening in life, and that goes for everybody, we have to get it together. We have to push. We have to get through life's hustles and bustles and ups and downs. But it's like, okay, these kids, they didn't ask to be in this predicament. So when I called the police department, they were saying that there has to be some type of proof that she's a tenant, because the breaker box, I was like, well, can the police come in? Because my friend thinks, she's unsure. Because I told her to go look in the back of the house, but the back of the house is wooded. And I think last week or the week before last, they found like a dead body. That's the type of neighborhood we're talking about, guys. It was like a dead body found in the back of, it's like a big old forest. They found a dead body back there, because I was like, maybe the breaker box is in the back. But she was like, no, we were left this house and it's been here a long time. I believe that the breaker box is in the master bedroom, which is her mom's room, which she has it locked and chained up to where she can't get in. So the police department was saying she has to show some type of proof that she's a tenant before they could break that door down, regardless whether the kids is asthmatic or not. So I asked the police, okay, well, what else can be done? And they didn't know. They couldn't give me an answer. They was like, okay, call the fire department. They may be able to do it, which I found totally weird. I was like, you guys are quick to insult or or I don't know. You guys are so quick to want to snatch away children or whatever you have to be when you find out too late. But we're calling early. We're letting you guys know what's happening early. And you guys are not being informative. They didn't even give me any information about shelters. And I just expected a little bit more from the police. I'm not bashing law enforcement. I want to make that I want to make that clear. That's not what I do. I'm just saying when I called last night, this particular lady could not tell me anything. Her suggestion was call the fire department. So I asked my friend, I was like, well, is that what you want to do? Because we also wanted to be careful that her mom did not say, oh, she broke my door down or something like that. So I asked the police department, I was like, okay, so if we call the police department and they break down the door, can anything be said against her as far as getting her in more trouble than she already is as far as a criminal history, saying that she had this door broken down? Again, the police department couldn't tell me that either. So she was like, I'm scared. I don't want to be breaking anybody's doors down. And she was like, I just do not know what to do. So, yeah, that's it. It's nighttime here in the area. The kids are in the dark. I think she was able to run like to a little fried chicken place in the neighborhood and get them something to eat for dinner. But and she was able to leave them on the porch because the windows do not raise up in this house. This house is that old, which I thought that was against the law too, for you not to be able to raise up the windows, or a safety hazard. Maybe not. Um, I thought it was a safety hazard, like because if anything can happen, like a fire, and you can't get out your windows. Like I don't know the type of conditions that I don't know. It's crazy, but they've had something to eat for tonight, and they were sitting on the porch because it was warm today. So they've had something to eat. Today was the last day of school, which that was I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing because you send kids to school and they can't think because they're going through all this, you know, and yeah, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. So I don't know. Do they rent this house or is their house passed down to them? This house was passed down to them. Now, who it was passed down to, like, I never got into that deep of because I don't tend to get in people's personal business like that. But I definitely know that it was not left to my friend, meaning she didn't sign any paperwork saying that she was owner or anything. It was her great great grandmother's house, and her and her mom and her great uncle have been living in it ever since I've known her, and I've been knowing her for about 15 years. So this is not a rent house. This is a paid for house by um, an older member of the family that transitioned years ago, years and years ago. So yeah, Lady E, that's the deal on that. It was passed down, but to who I don't know. But all of them have been living in it. So maybe like a family house. Um, I've never had a house passed down to me, so I don't know the ins and outs of that. But according to the police, you have to be a tenant. So I asked her, I was like, do you have anything in your possession as far as paperwork that says you're a tenant? And she was like, yes, I do. There's been different type of government resources that she has reached out to try to get help with, but it's hard. I think it's hard for her to get any type of help when you got a criminal record. I think when you have a criminal record, um, it's pretty hard. But she was like, yes, I do have something on paper saying that I'm allowed to live here. If it is owned by the family, the city won't get involved as far as the windows not raising and those kind of things. She might try contacting the loan association, their help with things sometimes, or Okay, let me make sure I read this correct. Even Red Cross. Yeah, I did mention it. I did mention I was like, get on the phone because she has a cell phone and it's not cut off yet. I was like, call the shelters and see. And see, it's kind of hard to get through her, like I was saying earlier, because she's so dependent upon these drugs. Supposedly, these drugs were like, now, I'm not an advocate for drugs. Let me put that out there. And it's just been one of those things. Her mom was aware that she'd been doing drugs. Her family knows that she does drugs. And drugs is not something that, drugs are something a lot of people fall victim to. And that's what she that's what she that's her coping mechanism. And it's so sad. But I did tell her, call some call some women's shelters. Call some people for your children's sake, because it's not fair for your kids to be living in that type of condition. But it's like you can tell people, you can talk to your blue in the face about some stuff, but until people really dig down in themselves and make the necessary changes that need to be made, what do you do? And that's what's so tiresome for me as a friend. And my family was like, detach yourself. But I'm the only one that she has to talk to. Her family, they're dysfunctional. So my family was like, take a break and don't answer the phone. But I feel like so bad, even though when I'm on the phone with her, all I'm doing is trying to come up with things. Trying to come up with things. I was thinking of, maybe a hotel, but she don't have the money for that. I said, call the school. Please, first of all, take care of yourself. I can tell you're stressed out and worry. Please don't get yourself sick. I know how those things. Yeah, I really have. My E-Day is in 13 days. And what's so crazy about this is I was really excited about this weekend. In the morning, I leave to go spend time with my kids. Um, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe, this is happening. I can't believe I've been put in this type of predicament. I'm not scared of tests. I'm not scared of being there for friends, but there's only so much, I can do. And I feel like it's pulling me away from that joy that I had about this weekend. And I'm just, trying to, find that joy back. E-Day is coming. I got that on my mind. And need care breaks my heart. They gotta, yeah, yeah, it is broken my heart too. So I don't know. Right now, I haven't talked with her, the last couple of hours, and my family just told me, "You're not wrong for not answering. You're not wrong for calling. You're not wrong for staying, detached. You have to keep yourself healthy. You have to keep yourself happy. You only can fix so much. So um, just kind of stay distant." But my mind keep in my head. It's like, okay, it's nighttime. Are they safe? Are they okay? It's like last night I couldn't even sleep, and I was sleepy at work today. I called her this morning. They did go to school, which is a good thing because it could be so traumatic that she didn't send them to school, but she did send them to school. She did feed them. I just I just do not understand how things get to this point. I just something a little piece of me would have just wished that maybe the mom would at least left the electricity on so that kids can see, like, who leaves kids like that. I guess that's the big thing. I don't know. And some people believe in tough love, and um yeah, I know. Yeah, it is rough, and I'm trying to get prepared for that. And I may just have to detach myself. And my fear is, am I less of a friend for doing that? Am I less of a friend for doing that? I mean, I'm a researcher, and I'll get to making calls because I made the calls last night to the police department. Like, she doesn't have any knowledge of taking those type of steps. She's very, my friend that's 36. She's very dependent upon others, and that's because like I said in the beginning of the video, just her childhood and just the trauma and um. But yeah, lady, you're right. You can't save everyone. But that's what this video, it was just a story time. It's a real life story. I didn't want to put her name out there. I just kind of wanted to get on this page, and I don't want this to be a fantasy page. I want this to be real life situations, real life stories. And like I said, I know people with PhD. I have friends and I have family with PhDs. I have friends or I have family, that's on drugs. I work with people that's good people. I work with people that's bad people. We all know all kinds of people. So gotta be well centered for E-Day, darling. Stress is no good. The mom was wrong to hurt the babies. Yeah. And that's what I was telling her. I was like, um, karma, karma is real. You can't put evil out and don't expect evil to come back with you. I personally couldn't sleep leaving kids, and I'm sensitive. I work with children. I have children of my own, and children did not ask to be here. They didn't. No matter what the situation is, no matter how broken we are as adults, no matter what communities we live in, no matter what children, we have a responsibility. Everybody have a responsibility. I'm a firm believer in it takes a village, and leaving those kids there was wrong. My friend is wrong. She needs help. You're a wonderful friend. Don't ever think that you're less of a friend, but you can't save her. She can only save her. And unfortunately, the babies are stuck in the middle. Yeah, that's true, lady. Thank you so much for the feedback. Thank you so much for being here for me. I didn't think, like I said, I don't want this to be just a denture page. I want this to be a real life page about me and just different things and a variety of things. And today it's a serious, I mean, tease is a serious issue. I'm sure you know that. We have tons of emotions with that, and we go through a roller coaster ride, but there's other roller coaster rides also. So, but thank you so much for the feedback and communicating with me and talking with me. And I think that I'm going to try to get a good night rest because we have an exciting trip tomorrow with my children. We're going to a Bible camp and we're going to be hiking. We're going to be canoeing. We are going to be singing. We're going to be arts and crafts, just all these fun things. And I just want to be fully grounded for my children and the children of the church. I'm actually required to give a lesson tomorrow. And out of all this whole situation, my original message was going to be um, I forgot what my original message was going to be, but tomorrow my message is going to be love. It's going to be love. You're beautiful, amazing. Thank you for sharing. I will keep you in my thoughts, prayers. Thank you so much, Lady E. So we will be headed out in the morning. If anybody wants to keep us in your thoughts and prayers as far as traveling grace, it's about an hour drive. And me and the kids, STAR test is over this week. Lady E, any of my viewers, if anybody know what STAR test is, it's the standardized testing here in Texas. That's over with. We're done. And we just want to get away from the normal. We want to get away from work. We want to get away from school, and we're just going to try to, no, I'm not going to. Power is in words. We're going to go and we're going to have fun in the morning, and I'm going to enjoy my kids. I'm going to enjoy my church members, uh, and my family and my friends. So, thank you so much for being here again for me, Lady B. I feel better. Thank you, Lady E. That was totally awesome of you. Anybody else that comes in later and watch this, do not hesitate to share. Um, any advice is good advice. If I said something wrong, let me know. If you think my friend is wrong, let me know. If there's any advice you got as far as I could tell her as far as the kids, that will be good. As far as tenant rights and what she can do because she's been living there forever, you can let me know that. Just anything you guys can let me know. That would be absolutely amazing. I'm going to jump off here and I am going to relax. Anything. I try to help, and I can tell your heart is heavy on this. Enjoy your family time and rejoice. You're a blessing. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, lady. You almost getting me to smile, but you already know how we are before eating and what we feel about it. I'm like, um, but you have a good night, Lady E, and you're also in my thoughts and prayers. The feeling is reciprocal, and this has been amazing. And it has been a relief. I guess I needed to talk about it. I talked about it with my family, and they were like, "Just let it go. Just stop." But sometimes, as women, I guess it's just not enough sometimes. But I'm gonna turn it in. I'm gonna take a, get myself together and situate some stuff and lay down so we can get up bright and early in the morning. And I will probably check you guys out later. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Love on those that are close to you. Love on those that are under you, even those that are, of evil. Of course, be careful, but still they need they need us to, you know, pray for them too. You know, if you know any children, if you're around any children, give them hugs and give them kisses because you never know what they're going through. And I will check back with you guys. You bet anytime. I will think on it for you too. Okay, thank you, Lady. Well, I'm gonna head out of here so I can get some rest, so I can go have some fun tomorrow. Thank every subscriber. Thank everybody that watched me. You guys are totally amazing. The Denture community, the Denture family. I love you guys. Have a great weekend, and I'm about to close the doors of the quiche. All right. Bye, Lady E. Bye, subscribers.